And so there we are. This is session 2 of 3 of the Sunday morning Retrocember Rolemaster, and this is with Slumbering Ursine Dunes, which is an OSR module for Labyrinth Lord that we're playing with. It's got a Slavic feel to it. We've kind of dropped it in on this world. We're doing Rolemaster. They're 4th level characters with a simplified version of that system, which is pretty close to how I ran it for our home game. If you're watching at home, you'll probably see us referring to another screen because we are using Roll20, the character keeper there, and the dice rolling system in that section. So be aware of that. So what I'm going to do is have everybody do the quick 30-second pitch on who their character is, and then I'm going to frame where we are from last session. So let's start with Ilberd, the person recovering from a cold.
Yeah.
Get him right away into it.
Yeah, the cold should be good now. No, I'm Ilberd, and I am a Highman fighter. Pretty much the on the trail kind of explore around kind of fighter. I go by Ilberd the Beast Hunter because, well, I haven't really killed too many of them, though I don't avoid alluding to that. So,
and what does Ilberd look like?
Ilberd's kind of a big, I'd say kind of big, muscly. I think he's got a chainmail kind of, chain shirt with sleeves. So kind of a chainmail, kind of big beefy guy. Probably has that one of those. He takes pride in his mustache.
Okay,
it's one of those that kind of goes out and curls.
Got the wax set aside for that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So next, let's hear who Semyon is.
All right. So Semyon Petrov, he's very much a sort of dual life socialite wandering around with the nobles and cat burglar at night sort of thing, which is a great job description to be wandering through random centaur and bear infested dunes and abandoned ruins that are definitely not filled with cultists or anything like that, I'm sure. But there's really rare, expensive things out here, and Semyon just finds himself called. He is a mentalist, magical mind-warping skills that he may have slightly too much confidence in. He's also a sort of Aikido-style martial artist with sweeps and throws that he definitely has too much confidence in. And otherwise, he's ready to be out here hiding behind his shield and finding something expensive to steal. As far as look, here is a picture of Semyon.
Very dashing.
In his more natural environment there.
And let me ask you this. When people meet him, do you think that they realize that he is a mage?
Well, I don't know if they necessarily realize he's a mage. It's not like he adorns himself in arcane symbols or has pouches or like wands or anything. But I mean, they look at him as the Highman race and the very attractive symmetricalness and the just obviously noble bearing, and they know there is something very special about him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you. Next is Bogomil. If you could tell us about the ranger.
Yeah, so Bogomil is actually a bard, not a ranger. He's an half elf.
Sorry.
No worries. He's easygoing, I think a free bird, rather pacifistic. I imagine him like a fantasy version of a hippie. He's not into violence too much and tries to avoid it. And concerning looks, he has long hair, probably unkempt, and mismatched clothes picked up from every culture. He's an half elf, so he's in between things. He has been the other, so to speak, all of his life, and embraces that freedom.
And his instruments of choice are, again?
Obviously a lute.
Good looking? Is it a nice lute or a very basic one?
I go with the hippie theme, so it's a wooden lute. Everything is wooden, and if they had stickers in that time, he would have attached them. But obviously, we don't. So he marks every gig with scratchings.
That's awesome. I love it. Last but not least, but perhaps the smallest, is Wildemir, the least talented. If you could give us the pitch on your character.
Well, let's see here. I play Wildemir, the least talented. She's the youngest daughter of 7 of a very, very well-known and august sorcerer. All of them are sorceresses as well. And she has accrued through her early childhood a great number of curses from her sister, being that she was the baby and the prettiest. And she, oddly enough, in this group of lovely pacifistic gentlemen, is bent on destruction. So she's sort of all the yang to their yin, or the yin to, I don't know which. That's a detail from some other discipline, not sorcery. But anyway, she's come here to find her destiny and hopefully get rid of at least a good portion of the curses that have been laid on her.
And I believe that you described that the curses weren't contagious. You tried to make some of that assurance to the group last time, though that wasn't that important to you, right?
Does it really matter? The important thing is that it's a problem for me.
Okay.
I don't think we're convinced.
Yes, there's some skepticism. So where we are right now, you headed for the Slumbering Ursine Dunes to quest and explore, an adventuring group that had worked together from time to time. You were in Kubelberg, the name of that stead that was just outside where you met the old man there. And you made your way in through these great red sand dunes that go up. A hard climb up, but they've got these valleys in between the dunes that take some time to work through. You encountered a centaur toll collector and were able to realize that they're kind of jerks, but they do work for apparently Medved, who is the master of the dunes, and supposedly, has his bear temple and so on. You found a location where something had happened, like something had crashed from the air. Found a crater. There were some lions there you were able to fight off. And it was very clear that people had been there, had explored the crater that had knocked down and burnt these trees. Afterwards, you followed that path along, trying to track who had clearly picked something up from the center of it. And eventually made your way. There were a couple of choices of direction, but you're able to follow the centaur path. It led to a large ironwood grove, trees grown up, sort of that barbed trees kind of bent along, able to find kind of an entrance into that. And you came upon a group of centaurs who had clearly picked up this object and who were immediately hostile. They had clearly come here to check out their loot, and they did not want interlopers. And you engaged them in combat. And I believe that at one or two of them were slain, but at least two of them, one was slain, but the others ran for the hills, essentially escaped out because it clearly wasn't worth their lives. And at the end of that, in this grove, you found what they had picked up, which was an egg about this big, sort of iridescent, their colors kind of swirling in it. It's heavy, and it is very, very warm. And that's where we left off last time. So what do you want to do?
So what do we do about this egg? I know that our compatriot here thinks it's curse related. Don't know whether I buy that. Destiny. That's what I hear. So what kind of destiny is this?
Hopefully it's full of fire and destruction, but who knows?
I think it looks like a giant gem, and I'd like to be eyeing the hell out of that.
Well, do you have any kind of skill for assessment on that, my mentalist friend? Do you have like a lore magical or a lore monster or a lore gem? What do you think?
I think I have like an appraisal. If that would be like lore gem, that would work.
Oh, appraisal's good. Let's have you put appraisal there.
Okay.
What do you want to set that at?
I think that's going to be at a 40.
Okay. Then let's have you roll.
And then I have to go over here and find a Rolemaster.
Technical name.
Yep. Plus my 40. It's 85.
This is clearly not a gem, but you don't know what it is. And so it makes it very difficult for you to appraise it. But you are disappointed in that kind of touching it and so on. It's clearly not a gem.
Oh, well.
So when Seymour is... Are you holding the egg?
I am.
Not letting go.
I'm just touching it a lot, apparently.
So I imagine the three of us standing in a circle because I'm touching the egg as well.
Yes.
Okay.
A sort of tug of war.
Yeah, I'm getting a very peaceful vibe from this circle of happiness. In any case, Bogomil is humming to himself and casting item reading, I think it's called.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see. And that is a spell. Where is it?
I think it is.
I don't know. Do you have a link to all this?
Let me grab that, and I'll drop the folder. There you go.
Let's see. So it's a spell. So I think I roll just a D100.
Oh, are you doing the item analysis one?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, item and yeah, item analysis 1. So I have a 50% chance.
Okay.
Let's see. I have a 90.
All right. I'm going to have you roll twice more because there are 3 abilities that this thing has. Okay. Okay.
Probably didn't get the last 2.
So I will tell you that this is clearly literally an egg. It is not just egg-shaped. It is literally an egg. There's something about that you can't quite read, but you will be able to tell that this thing, the heat that radiates comfortably from it, is keeping all of you very warm. In like a good 10-foot radius, this keeps the temperature, at a warm level for you. Not hot, but definitely the heat from this thing.
So while touching it, do I feel any kind of movement or changing within the egg? Is it warm, like distributed evenly around the egg?
That's a good question. I'm going to say you're not sensing any movement in it, and the heat that's given off feels fairly even to you.
Lowell, I have magical lore. So while they are pawing at my egg, I will try to discern what sort it is.
Okay. At your egg.
I'm a little more concerned about these centaurs that ran off.
Yeah, they did take off. You do know that there are more centaurs around and about.
73. Not a very good roll.
You'll probably get the same thing, that it's an egg, and it's fairly powerful, but you don't know the specifics of that.
I guess one of the things is could I ask, does it need external warmth or external thing? I'm more concerned about it making it. Does that make any sense rather than having any sense of?
No, and I'll tell this because you've got three magical users in the group. You have the sense that it is kind of picking up and channeling the ambient background essence and magic to warm itself. That rather than taking on heat, it's sort of absorbing very lightly the magic from the air around it.
Okay, thank you.
So you mentioned the centaurs there. What do you think you want to do about that, Ilberd?
Well, logic kind of dictates that if they're stealing this thing and keeping it hidden from their own kind, they're not just going to run back to them. However, these centaurs, I guess, have been kind of controlling who's been on the roads. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather make sure that these ones that took off aren't going to aren't heading in a direction towards that camp or outpost that first one alluded to.
Okay. So let's have you make a perception or a tracking roll, whichever is better for you.
Okay. So perception, or let's see what they got. Perception's the only one we got there. Okay.
I didn't know if you had bought a tracking skill.
No, I hadn't. I had done intimidation and cooking. So perception. And that's a D100. And it is 35.
So you will see there is the track, the path that you guys came in through. And you will spot another track besides that one heading out. And they definitely ran back the way that you came from. So towards that kind of crossroads, and then if from there they could go to their centaur camp.
Okay.
I seem to remember that there was a hut or a shack or something. Or is that in my imagination?
I think that's in your imagination.
Okay.
There was I think there was one at that toll kind of spot, but
yeah,
I don't think it was much more than just kind of a, this is how we stay out of the sun if we need to stay out of the sun kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I think that's the only structure that you've seen so far. So how does the group want to proceed?
I think we need to get out of the area before they go back and lie to the other centaurs about us attacking the one that's dead now.
The one we attacked?
Well, the one that's laying here
They,
at our
they
feet.
wouldn't be lying.
Right, but they attacked us first.
True. We were defending ourselves. Yeah,
We were.
that doesn't
That's not
always
just
go
a
over well.
technicality. Not with them. That's why I'm saying we should probably get we should move on to someplace else.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're probably right there.
Yes, I'm a genius.
Need to find somewhere to shelter for the night, and then, prepare for tomorrow when we go look for something expensive rather than shiny.
Huh.
Expensive
Okay, we'll look for
rather
something
than
for you.
shiny. Yeah. So what does the group kind of think is where's our destination? Where are we headed out here?
I thought we were going to the bear temple, weren't we?
Definitely.
Okay.
So let's
And we
move
have a
in
good
that-
idea or such that we think we know where it's at?
Nope.
It's definitely not back the way we came.
That eliminates one false destination, I guess.
Oh, have we searched the body of the slain centaur?
I don't believe so.
So Bogomil will just do that.
Okay. You will find 1 ration and 1 coin worth of goods. The centaur ration is this kind of a trail mix that is put up there, but it's clearly put with some kind of like a honey or sugar because it's all kind of clumped together in the bag.
Bogomil puts it in his mouth.
Okay. It will soften eventually. It has a very grainy taste to it, I think I want to say. A lot of oat and a lot of rye, weirdly enough. So I see you could camp here. It is getting later in the day. Or you could head on the path that you found, Ilber, the new one, or you could head back the way you came, or you could do more searching around here. What do you want to do?
What kind of things should we be kind of on the lookout for to kind of point us in the right direction of the temple thing?
Well, they was described as being a ways in, so to the south of where you're at right now. So that's generally the direction you want to be heading when you have a chance to break south.
So where do our tracks go at this point? Our options if we stay
So
out?
the track that you came down exits from this to the northeast.
Okay.
And then there's a track that goes west and slightly to the south.
Okay.
And that's the one that they didn't come down.
Okay. So that's got an extra bonus to they weren't going that direction. That's probably the one we should go. So I'm gonna kind of suggest that to the group. Kind of do the turning around and looking at stuff and all that. I think that's the direction we need to be going.
That's just what I was going to say. That way. Yep. That's where I was thinking as well.
And we need to keep our eye on the flank here, because I mean, if they decide we were hijacking them, and they decide to send more than 2 more after us, we're in trouble. So let's not hang around here too long.
All right. So the group will gather themselves together, and you will set out down this track that moves between the dunes again to the slightly to the south and west and kind of curves. There's in the sort of the lee of the dunes. There's sort of the hard packed rock, and then some trees and brush and so on as you move along there. And it is getting on towards dusk here, which does kind of change the color. You've got both the red dunes and then the red sky at the same time. It will, after about 30, 40 minutes of walking, it will break out into another sort of open area. And there's some space around. There's kind of a dense copse, a dense gathering of ironwoods towards the center of this area. And there's the tangle brush and things around here. And there is a smell here that is fairly pungent of decaying meat.
I suggest that we make camp before entering the clearing in the bushes and brambles, and not in the clearing, and away from the stench.
Yeah, that's probably a very wise decision. I suppose I'll set into like kind of clearing an area for us to camp at.
Kind of get more towards the edge of the dunes, away from the center point. Set up your camp. Are you lighting a fire or doing a cold camp?
It was rather chilly, wasn't it?
But, well, it's actually not to you guys because you've got that egg.
Right. So cold camp just means we don't get to have warm food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some rations aren't that bad. I mean, I've had worse than what we got here.
And
Okay.
everyone can mark off a ration from your supplies.
My deep supplies.
So yeah, that does bring me to a question. Ilbert, what do you suppose is your ration of choice?
I think as simple as it can be, probably grains and nuts and cheeses and stuff like that. Just very, I don't have to cook it.
That makes sense to me. On the other hand, Semyon, what is your ration of choice?
Well, I mean, it's obviously we're out here in the wilderness, but that's no reason to be savage. So they're obviously gold foil wrapped individual little packet bits that he pulls out, and there's a lovely, if cold, I suppose, rice ball and some like salmon, smoked salmon sort of pieces, and just some lightly cooked vegetables that would sort of hold for the trip. And well, these strawberries are starting to go, but they really pair well with the little bottle of wine.
Excellent as you eat your bento box. And what about Bughamil? Are you finishing the centaur's meal?
Yes, I finished whatever the centaur had on his dying body.
A lot of honey. It's very, very sweet.
And I think while eating, I also play a soft instrumental tune. Because as Samos said, we are not savages.
Fair enough. And then
Very nice, I approve.
Lastly, Wildemir, how do you eat?
Well, I have these sort of like they're wrapped in cloth, but they're essentially smashed cupcakes. She packed them herself.
Yeah. Now you're gonna hit the pull, hit to kind of scrape the crumbs off, get the frosting. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm picturing.
Lick the packaging when you're done.
Yeah.
But not when anyone's looking.
She has some dignity. So yeah, you guys can set up camp.
So that was wonderfully refreshing, but you know, there is that horrifying, mind-numbing smell. Perhaps maybe we could just find whatever that is and bury it. Does that work out here?
That sounds very sensible.
Well, you'd know we did kind of leave something to become a smell later back down the road we didn't do anything about.
Oh, well, yes, but that was a dirty little centaur camp. This is a nice oasis that we're camping in.
Okay.
Also, there may be a threat.
Oh,
So
yes, that too.
I'm gonna get the weapon out and just kind of start working my way around the area just to kind of make sure we're safe and to find out where the smell is coming from.
All right. Let me have you make a perception check, and then I'll come and check with everybody else.
Okay. $112.
So you can tell that from this location, besides the track you came in, you'll find an exit that goes to the northeast, and then a path that goes due west again.
Hmm.
But the main thing you'll see is as you kind of move up onto that stand of trees and scrub, you can see that there is in the midst of it. And what are you using for light right now? Do you have a torch or a lantern?
Yeah, probably a torch.
Okay.
Something simple.
So that will flicker across. You can see that in the center of that stand of trees, there is a large slab of sandstone with an enormous 3-foot wide, 1 meter wide crack in it that runs about probably 2 meters, maybe a little bit more from end to end. And clearly goes down a ways, and the smell is coming from that.
So it's a big stone with a hole in it.
Yes.
And the smell's coming out of the
One might
hole.
even call it a cave, if one were being generous.
Well,
Us.
I think I'm going to edge my way up there and kind of see how close I can get and peek.
Okay.
Just 'cause
So
that
let me check
stench
in,
is
though.
so
Let me
bad.
check in with your compatriots
Sure.
while you are checking out the area. What about the three of you? What are you doing?
Head
Well,
horse.
Bogomil sits next to Wildomir, and for the probably fourth or fifth time is inquiring about the least talented bit of Wildomir. So surely there must be a story that I can sing about.
And she rolls her eyes and she goes, well, you see, what happened was, and again, you get that whole sense that like she's compelled to say, I'm the least talented. It's like she wants to tell you, but whenever she tries to explain it, she's forced to say, I'm the least talented.
Excellent. Semyon, what about you?
So I think I'm following behind Elbert to sort of see what this nasty smell is and make sure he gets it taken care of properly. And it's getting more intense. And finally, I'm gonna try and do a minor sense control to make everything smell nice around me.
I will say you don't even have to roll. If you spend the points, you can have what is the smell that will surround you for those close by?
I think there's a particular perfume I'm thinking of from the last city that we stayed in. It's fond memories.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So you'll be able to get that, and you'll be pleased. It will your senses will change, and Ilbert, the meat smell near you goes away, and you have this perfume filling.
Right when I first start smelling this, I'm gonna look back at him and like, you do know you just made us a target, right?
Well, I mean, for certain sorts of attention, but you should be grateful for that. I mean, after all this day's travel, you don't smell your best, my friend. And what if we ran across someone you wanted to impress?
I don't want to impress anybody at the moment. I want to impress as few people as possible at the moment. And the
so
smell is impressing probably more than I wanted.
So we'll come back to the noise and the torch and the smell in just a moment. But let me check in with Wildemir before that happens.
Well, it strikes her that Bougamil seems like he has many handy talents, so she will ask him to help her tie up a sort of pack to carry the egg in. She wants to carry it in the safest possible place, which means to her it wouldn't be on her back. It would be like it was on her apron, except that just tying her apron up wouldn't be secure enough. So she needs sort of, I don't know, someone who knows how to do knots or sensible things to help her with this.
That seems fair. Do you think Bougamil can do that?
I mean, I have skill slots. I'm not sure if basket weaving is on there.
You can either take it as something like rope mastery, like you're good with ropes and knots, or you can just say, yeah, I can tie this up.
I think like what would the skill be? Rope tricks or rope knotting?
Yeah,
seems like a reasonable skill to pick.
That's a good one. Means you can tie knots, bind things very easily.
And how's the we have some points to spread. I think it's 40-40 and something.
Yeah, you have 50, 40, 40, 25, 25, and it should be on your sheet, the spaces for those secondary skills.
Oh, let's have a look. But in any case, I'm helping Wildemir to make some kind of carriage.
And again, Wildemir, it's pretty fancy. He clearly knows what he's doing in terms of knots. He has some skill with it, so it will come out fine.
Not that you can tell this, because whenever she wants to smile, she actually kind of glowers. But she now has a crush on Bougamil because he's helped her with that.
And he's also a bit handsome in his. He has a ruffian look around him, but he's not ugly.
Exactly.
Ilbert, let me have you make a perception check as you move up towards this to kind of take a quick peek in here.
Okay. Uh, 101.
So you kind of stopped. You've told Semyon about this smell. You kind of moved up to this, and as you kind of step, and you're being very cautious about the distance you have, you will hear movement, like a great grinding movement, and clearly something is coming up out of that crack in the sandstone. It is moving up. What do you want to do?
I'm going to kind of motion that we should probably take a few steps back, and that whatever's in there, and I'm going to do it really kind of quiet. Let's go back a little bit. And I'll point out that I'm hearing something. So
You're moving the stone back on top. That's a good instinct. Go with that. Just go ahead and move it back over the smell, and then I won't have to keep up the spell anymore.
Oh, there's no movable stone. It's
I was
just one
gonna
big
say,
slab.
if he's like kind of doing that and talking and that, I'm gonna slug him in the arm. It's like, let's
Ow!
back up.
So I will let one of you, whichever one of you two wishes to make a stalk and hide roll to kind of slightly conceal your noises here as this thing comes forward.
Somehow, I think there's probably more importance to that than the other one of us thinks. So
Yeah, you're probably more focused on it at the moment.
yeah. So I'll go ahead and try that, and we'll see.
Let's see
how that comes out. Yeah, 63.
So you do slug, and there is the owl, and you two back sort of at the cold camp kind of hear the owl kind of carry a little bit more than you would expect, and there is a sped up motion. You have moved back, Semyon and Ilbert, and this shape emerges from that. It's maybe black, it's maybe brown, it's maybe gray. It's big. It kind of pours out of that. It's at least 8 feet at the shoulder as it kind of comes out. The thing that's bugging you is when you look at it, you can't actually see what it is. All you're seeing is kind of a shape. And it looks like it's kind of shifting in shape as it comes out. Like it puts a paw down and it's like a claw, and then it moves it and puts it down again, and it's sort of the shape of a hoof, and it is coming out at you two.
Ilbert, what did you do?
I think I'm gonna quickly make my way back to the camp.
Well, I think everybody's going to quickly roll initiative.
So we have competing ideas here, equally valid.
No, initiative is good. I can do initiative. Especially if I do really good initiative. But I don't think so because I'm not typically good at that.
Yeah, 2d10 plus thingamajigger.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, well, okay, Semyon, what'd you get?
I got a 12.
Ilbert, what'd you get?
8.
Wildemir, what'd you get? You did.
I got a 12.
Okay, and Bougamil, what'd you get?
Nothing yet. Hold on.
It looks like a 13 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's a little lag with the site at the moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's true. I've got a 13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I will roll for this thing. So, Bougamil, you will see your companions. These two come back quickly, maybe a little more noisily than they intended to, out of these ironwoods and scrub brush, and you see that shape kind of come up and land heavily, and it's like massive. It's bigger than a bear, and it's lumbering, and you can't tell exactly what it is. What do you want to do, Bougamil?
So, is the creature between us and the other two that come running?
No, they have fallen back towards where you are. So it's you guys, the other two, and then the monster.
So I would like Bogomil is playing the lute, and he weaves noises and sounds into a illusionary wall that mirrors the landscape. So for everyone standing in front of it, it would just look like the scenery without us. And it is a lesser illusion.
Lesser illusion.
Let's see. Hold on. What does it do? So creates a simple immobile image scene in an area of up to 10 feet, I guess, or creates a set of immobile sounds in an area.
Okay. So you're going to cast that fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's have you roll for your casting roll.
And it is at a disadvantage.
Yeah, when you cast fast, you have a -25 to your roll. So you want to roll at least above a 27. And it's just a straight roll.
The 100 minus 25.
Yep.
But 49.
So that will go off. The illusion appears there. It will cover you and Wildemir, given the distance that you have. So you two have that over you. Semyon, this thing is coming towards you. And if you look back, you'll see that Wildemir and Bougamil have vanished. They can still hear them.
Great, they've just left us now. No, okay, fine. Ilbird's backing up. The other two have just abandoned us. I suppose this is up to me. So I'm going to sort of plant my feet, turn around back to the horrible amorphous cloud smoke monster, and just put my finger up to my lips and go, shh, as it sort of echoes out through the trees and the breeze and sort of, from every direction closes in on it. I'm going to try and sleep it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's have you make. So you're going to cast fast.
Yeah.
You're rolling with a -25.
I know. Oh, Jesus, that's a -15.
So I will remind you that you have 4 hero points to reroll.
Might be worth using.
Yeah, yes, please. That was also my last spell of the day.
Yes,
Because
though
I had to spend a lot of points to make it smell good.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Well, that's a 30.
Okay. So 30 gives it that bonus. It's 4 levels higher than you. So that goes down to that. It's got that. So I'm going to roll its resistance to this. It's pretty tough. It's a big singular creature. And you didn't get a great result on that. So let's see what happens here. So it is actually going to resist that sleep spell. What is a sleep spell? You've done that shush to it, and it maybe hesitates for a second and then keeps lumbering forward. Wildemir, up ahead, you can see that there's those two are starting to engage with this monster. What do you want to do?
It's a big thing?
Yes.
I was always taught that if it's a big thing, the thing you want to attempt to do first is to see how well a touch of disruption works on it.
All right.
All right. So I'm prepping my cast.
Okay.
Well, I guess I could try to fast cast. I will attempt to fast cast.
Yes, please.
I will try that. All right. Though, if this is a resisted spell, that's what I don't want to do, right?
That is true. It will reduce your effectiveness.
Then I will take a round and do it properly.
Okay. Ilberd, the thing is almost upon you. What do you want to do?
And I look back, and everybody seems to be doing things, but what I was trying to tell them, because I'm like, grab your stuff and run, was the intent. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. So I turned to run, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" And turn right back around with the weapon.
Okay.
Pull my weapon out.
Well, we'll assume you had your weapon out. That seems
Yeah.
fair enough. given
Well,
the
yeah,
situation.
I had it out while I was poking around, working my way around the area. So
So, do you want to make an attack on this thing?
yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah.
So, how much of your attack bonus do you want to put into attack, and how much do you want to put into defending?
Well, you see, I did really well when I did the all-out attack thing.
Oh yeah, you should absolutely do that. Go all out.
Yeah, this thing's ugly. This thing's big and scary. Yeah, I probably should do that.
Yeah.
So what am I looking at here again?
So you're just going to roll and add your attack bonus and tell me what you get.
And you said my weapon was already calculated in, or do I need to add that?
Yep, whatever number is by it in the thing is how much you have.
Okay.
By it in the
So okay, that works. A big charging run and kind of right into the thing.
Okay.
149.
That's nice. That's nice. 149 minus that.
I'm so gonna get hit hard.
Is going to be that. So you will stab at it and hit it. Go ahead and roll your puncture critical.
Okay, so just the D100.
Just a D100.
98.
Did you literally just roll a 98?
Yes.
Well, because this is a large critical, you actually get to roll again and add to that.
Okay. And a 33.
What is that total?
31.
131.
Yeah, 131.
So you spin around and you actually catch this thing with like full on like hit. I mean, it slams into it and its momentum catches on it, and it is you rip along the side of it. It is a massive, solid hit. And it staggers back. It's not going to be able to parry for a couple rounds, and you did maybe 2 or 3 times what your initial hit did. And there's a still formless, but you can see the sort of wound on it, kind of showing, kind of holding space. And it is going to get a smack at you. But it is in very bad shape. You can tell that it is resilient, that it's clearly hard to stun it. And it raises one of these weird shaped paws and goes to smack at you. So what is your armor type and what is your defensive bonus?
Okay, so armor type was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And the defensive bonus, if I didn't put any points into that, is it just my shield at that point?
Yep.
Okay, so my shield is a 25.
Okay. So this is 25. Should probably cut and paste that. You stupid players. So it goes to swing at you. And this paw is massive when it goes to do that. I mean, just huge. And it comes by where you were, but the blow that you did to it initially kind of stopped its momentum, and it's clearly off balance because it just hits, and it hits this tree stump by you and just shatters that tree stump, and bits of wood go flying.
And I'm thinking, man, that could have been my head.
Oh yeah, would have sent you flying. Let's go to the top of the next round. As my big monster does nothing. Let's start with Bougamil.
Bogomil is changing the tune. He's preparing a spell for the next round.
Okay. Can change that out. And so that brings us to Semyon. Wow. Did you see that? Did you see that massive strike? Did you see that horrible blow that could have killed your compatriot? What do you do?
Oh, this is serious. Obviously, Ilbert is a bit in over his head, so I've got to stay here and protect him. Since again, the other two have just abandoned us. So yeah, I'm gonna try and like work my way around to the side. And I mean, I'm not stupid. I learned from the Centaur incident that Aikido against non-humans is a little harder to pull off. So instead, this time I'm gonna try and time it for when the giant thing is taking a step, and I'm basically gonna try and like body slam one of its ankles back so that it falls off balance, and I throw it to the ground. It's obviously gonna work fine.
Okay. So that's a sweeps and throws?
Yeah.
Let's have you roll your sweeps and throws on the giant Gru.
It's great. It's going to be good. Let's see. So that's 43. $68.
So once again, you get a hold of the thing, and when you grab it, it actually feels incredibly strange because you can feel that the skin that you grab onto, it's skin and then it's fur and then it's scales kind of under your fingers.
Ew.
And you get no leverage on it. Oh no.
So yeah, I think I get on there and I try and like really leverage my weight against it, and I think I end up just like grabbing onto its leg as it's stepping forward and just hanging from its calf.
Perfect. Wildemir.
Yes, I would like to do Touch of Disruption now.
And when you say Touch of Disruption, is Touch of Disruption mean that you literally have to touch it?
No, it says it has a range of 100 feet.
That's dumb. But yes.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Let's have you make your casting roll.
Okay. I could use a good one now. 1D1. Oh. Oh, damn it. I'm going to use a fate point on it.
Oh, no.
I may regret this, but oh well. God. 12. Okay, so unless he completely fumbles.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, shit. Now I got to look that up, actually. Let me look at your base attack roll. Was a 17. Okay, so he gets plus that. So 8 versus 4. That plus 50 is 6. He just makes it.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. We both are having a bad day.
He's having a worse day than you are, though, I think, at this point.
Oh, no, not how she feels.
Ilbert, you smacked this thing hard, and you threw it off balance, but this giant thing is still up by you. And you will hear the grunt of Semyon at the back of it. What do you want to do?
Don't worry, buddy. I got it held down.
Seeing that the first kind of slamming strike into the thing worked really well, I think I'm going to do similar. Kind of back at maybe the other flank of the thing, whatever I can kind of guess is its flank.
Okay.
So I'll kind of do the same thing. I'm just going to all out.
An all-out attack. Okay, let's have you roll. Ooh,
there you go.
Times 1.
Wow.
So it does that. So it's at that. Let's have you roll your large critical on it. You'll slam the blade into it.
68.
68. So and you don't have any ambush skill, do you?
I don't think there was anything
Okay.
like that on my list. No.
Okay, so you will hit it because it's kind of open defensively. You slam into it, and you do a hefty cut, and another wound appears on its side, but it is still moving. But it's moving slower than it was before. But it's going to sweep out with one of these paws at you, and that back leg is going to kick at our mentalist.
Hey.
Okay. So I will start.
Which direction he turned to come back at me. So it looks like, it looks like you're just in the way.
Yes. Okay. And what is your defensive bonus? 25, right?
Yep.
And armor type 10?
14.
14. You take 3 points of damage as this thing just wings you.
Okay.
And how about my mentalist? What's your defensive bonus?
So I'm gripped onto its calf, so I don't think I get my shield, so it's a 10. And
It's
my
a
armor
10.
type
Okay.
is 13.
Oh, that's right. You've got decent armor on. What the what?
Somehow I don't think that went very well.
You take 5 points of damage.
Ow! That
Yes.
stung.
So yeah, it's spinning around and it's flailing wildly. It clearly doesn't have a good sense of where you're at. Maybe the perfume is confusing it. Maybe it hunts via smell, and the perfume is getting to it. That's probably what's going on. That's my excuse.
It's fighting too many enemies.
Yes.
I mean, you need to just specialize in what you're good at and just stick with that.
Bougamil.
So I think while the illusion Bogomil has casted obviously disappears or slowly vanishes, he has changed this the tune into this like very twangy banjo solo that indicates the stun spell.
Awesome. Have you make your casting roll?
That's a 50.
Okay, so right in the middle. And so he needs to get more than that. So let's roll for him. So you are kidding me. So he is stunned on this round. He is subject to magical stun right now. So you guys will see. What does that look like? Just the sound of it, right?
Yeah, I don't think that there's any visual indication. It's just a rather unpleasant, thorny, twangy song.
So it rears back. It kind of shakes its head there. While the physical stun didn't seem to have affected it, this magical effect seems to have got through its defenses, and it will shake. Semyon, what do you want to do?
So me and Ilbert's skillful combined attack has been so inspiring that it's caused our friends to come rushing back in from their cowardly retreat. So that's
Apparently.
exciting. And my move is now stunned it into immobility. So I'm going to really take advantage of that and begin kicking at its ankle just as viciously as I can with my little boot.
Okay. Is that a martial arts strike, or are you trying to just distract to assist Ilberd?
Yeah, gosh, I don't know if this is actually hurting him in any way. If I can distract, that'd be great.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg.
I keep trying that.
Well, let's have you roll with your martial arts skill. Let's see if we can give him an advantage.
All right. $68.
So you think it is helping?
I'm real sure
Okay.
it is.
Absolutely certain it's helping. Wildemir, you've done nothing to this monster.
Thank you for rubbing it in. Disrupt. Fast cast.
Gonna fast cast disruption. All right, let's have
Yeah.
you roll. Ooh, that's not good for it.
Well, it can't resist anyway. It just takes a B crit.
Oh, it's just a B crit. Okay, and a B is the minimum you need to do a large crit on this thing. So go ahead and roll percentiles. Roll again. That's open-ended.
So that's 164.
So this thing is sort of staggered back from that, and then there's that vacuum explosion on the side, and where it probably has ribs, kind of balloons out, and this thing lets out a roar, and it's staggering from this thing. It's still a mess of flailing limbs, but it is clearly on its last legs. It is just about to go down. I mean, that hit took something serious out of it. Ilbeard.
Okay, we're good. Yes. Okay. I think, yeah, I think we're gonna rinse and repeat. I mean, it's been working so well. I'm gonna kind of come at it from another angle and.
It seems like the stunning and the effect of that magic spell, and maybe the kicking, has rendered it very open to your strike.
Okay, so all-out attack. It's an okay attack. 108.
Minus that. So you're still going to roll a critical right at the bottom of the chart.
Okay. And a 4 for the critical.
Ah, gee, you have a hero point.
I could do that, and I could end this.
Yes, you could.
How many hero points? How many hero points did we start with?
Start with 4, and that's as many as you get.
Yeah, because I don't think I had used any. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and use 1.
Okay.
Let's see if I can end this in a single critical. No. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it as it is.
Okay. So you will go and you will hit it, but because it's twisting away from you, it doesn't actually land that attack. It's stunned, which gives it a penalty right now to its actions, and it can only take one of its attacks right now from that. And let's see, doesn't know where the vacuum came from. The kicking is going on back behind. So he is going to try and take a desperate swack at you, Ilbert, at a significant penalty. Your DB is a 25, so I've got to roll really well here. 70. You're going to take 5 points.
Okay.
And a tiny critical.
Okay.
The critical reads, looking bad, +0 hits.
Okay.
So it's like it's like there's a slow motion as one of the claws like grazes your cheek, caresses it gently as this thing tries to take you down.
I get scratch marks, but that's about it.
Yes. Top of the next round, Bogomil, this thing is staggering. Do you want to keep up the stun on it?
I think Bogomil is feeling a bit of pity again, even with that monstrous creature, and just hopes it will run away. So he stops the song and gently and slowly walks towards the creature and shushes it away. Shh, shh, go away. Run.
Semyon.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was going down, but it seems to have a little more fight left in it. So
yes,
vicious. The ankle is obviously armored, so we're going for back of knee now. So I'm like, donkey punch, shoots to the back of the knee.
Heavy roll.
Oh wow! Wow, 102.
So you kicking it, hitting that armored skin there. It might have done a couple of points of concussion for it. Certainly, it seems to actually feel the blow this time, maybe a little.
Aha!
Wildemir.
Yeah, I've got enough points to do one more disruption, so I will.
Roll your fast cast. Don't fumble.
I'll try not to. I did not.
Oh, that's it, just barely though. All right, let's have you roll your large crit on this thing.
82.
82. It's that blast staggers it. It's again drop back. More hits to it. It's reeling. Just absolutely reeling. Ilberd, do you want to do the coup de grace on it?
Yeah, this thing's too dangerous. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and remove the thing.
All right.
And its stench.
So I just want you to roll. Just don't roll a 5 or less.
Just don't roll a 5 or less. You're never supposed to say that.
Oh no, I'm always supposed to say that. That's a solid blow.
I rolled pretty good.
So you will sink the blade into this groove, and it hits it, and it kind of reels back, and it collapses, and there's this weird sort of smoke that comes up as the skin, the flesh, whatever it was on this thing, vanishes into kind of this horrible vapor. Again, you get that meat smell.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit the ground so I don't get the vapor in my lungs and whatever, because that's got to be nasty on you. Cancerous or something. It's just bad.
Yeah, it's secondhand groove smoke. And there's this enormous skeleton left behind that looks like someone took pieces and parts from all kinds of animals and stuck them together randomly, like a giant, like lizard claw, one for one of the paws, and like a great bear paw for another, and maybe an insect for another bit, and the skull is sort of misshapen. Like you can't tell from the skeleton what it would have looked like.
Ew.
And I'll cheer and say, Ilberd the Grue Slayer!
And I helped!
Oh, hi, Semyon. I didn't see you back there.
Oh.
Ouch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go help Simeon kind of get like the gunk off and kind of like, hey, we really did lay into this beast pretty bad.
Yeah, we make a good. Oh, my shirt.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
stained.
I'm kind of trying to make him feel good for how messy this thing turned out.
Your shirt looks like when you get a grease spill on a shirt. It looks like that.
Oh,
But just like 3 foot wide or something.
Yes.
There is not. It's going to be a while before we see a good launderer again.
That's very true. Boogamil, what do we see of your reaction here?
I am not happy about all the killing, but that's probably part of the adventurer's life that I have to deal with. Ilbert had a torch at the beginning of the fight. Does it lie somewhere?
I assume it's burning on the sand, burning still.
Yeah, it's probably just laying there, kind of.
So Bogomil picks it up and has a look at the cave, or at the the stone with a opening in it.
So you hold it over it, again, about 1 meter wide, 2+ meters long, and it goes down kind of at an angle down into this, maybe looks like it's probably a 30, let's see how to put this, about a 10-15 meter crawl down into there, and definitely you're getting that smell of meat coming up from that place.
I mean, as a bard, I probably heard songs and stories about monster and creatures, and most of them seem to indicate that monsters, most of them at least, guard treasures. So I think Bogomil shouts to his companions, "Let's get the gold! Help me climb down."
Oh my god, I couldn't do anything else today. I'm just filthy and exhausted. Did you say gold?
I seem to see something glinting.
Simeon is disturbingly just like immediately behind your shoulder.
I was gonna say we're standing there and we're looking around and he's standing there kind of looking at his shirt, and then all of a sudden he's past us and staring down into the opening.
Look over. Willoughby, what are you doing?
Well, I know that we're going to end up climbing down there, so essentially I'm just making sure that my egg basket is very secure. And I'm gonna take out, I have some adventuring gear, so I'm gonna take out one of those little tins of pungent smelling balms, and I'm gonna put it under my nose so I can't smell the bad smell.
Okay.
Vicks.
Vicks. Magical Vicks. Arcano Vicks. So I don't think we even need to necessarily roll for you to climb down in here, but it's a sloppy mess. The climb down is kind of covered with whatever oil was on the grue, so you do have to kind of secure ropes. It opens into a decent-sized sandstone cave. You can see the layers on the wall, but they're all kind of blackened a little bit from the grue rubbing against it. And there is a larder of animal parts and corpses and such that you will find scattered throughout here. And there are 10 coins worth of coin.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to go to the random treasure table. So let's see here. So that's that. Excuse me, why? Well, okay. Well, that's a random table. Whatever. There's a set of armor that looks kind of spectacular. It looks like plate mail, but it's kind of got a bluish tinge to it. There's still a corpse inside of it. It's clearly magic because it hasn't shown any of the kind of corrosion that you would have expected from items that would be left down here.
It just needs rinsed out very well.
Very well is an understatement.
Uh,
There is a box, like a strong box here, that when you carefully open it up, get that open, there are a set of 6 metal golden butterflies in it. And let's see, an 8 gives us that again. Let's see. There's a set of boots that are completely untouched. Clearly, again, magic. They look in pristine condition, though you do have to pull the skeleton feet out of them and give them a good rinse.
So they were touched at one point.
Yes.
Ew.
General sort of aesthetic style on the boots.
Let's take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, we can do the item analysis and all that, the bard specialty, and we'll come back.
Cool. I'm just about ready to start hunting down some curse-casting sisters. I think you're muted.
I think the Guru would agree with you, given its relative lack of success there.
That's true. At least she does lay it out on all sides.
Yes. That's a terrible set of rolls for me.
It's if it makes you feel any better, we had some real stinkers too.
Yes, we did.
Now I know how Sean felt when that giant crab attacked us.
That giant lobster thing? The
Giant lobster thing,
man.
yeah.
It was like a lobster of some sort.
Yes.
Ooh.
It was after we'd had a lot of like little fights, like lots and lots and lots of little fights, and he's like clearly gotten fed up, and he puts this big thing against us, and I get the crit with the open ended, and
So I was curious about that sorcerer because that spell list is really fun. Is that the sort of things that they like? Is all of their stuff based around explosions and destruction and that sort of thing?
Yes. They have a little bit of healing, but no
oh no,
information.
that's not on your base spell list. I gave you that from the like general spell lists.
I was noticing it was a particularly crappy healing list.
Yeah.
So I had I assumed that I had to go to some there's an obligation to learn healing. She just rolled her eyes the whole way through it.
It's gas, earth, flesh, mind, and there are two others. Solid destruction, and there's like one more.
Nice.
That I don't have because you made me take healing.
Yes.
Ew, gross.
You said solid?
Solid destruction, like Crack's call, like destroying.
For whatever reason, my ear heard salad.
Clearly,
Rolemaster has a pretty narrow spell list.
Yeah, it does.
Really great against plant-based monsters.
Absolutely. Actually, would have been good when I played Maze of the Blue Medusa. Fought a bunch of plant things there.
I want to read that.
That's one of the things I did not pack in the boxes of games. So I got that one, so I'm going to go through that one at some point here, because I haven't had a chance to read through it yet.
Dylan ran a little bit of that for us, and we all died at the end, just as you would expect in a 3 session.
I wouldn't know. I would have kind of guessed that tends to happen. I'm guessing that's going to end up happening to us here at some point, because that's what I've always heard about Rolemaster.
We'll find out. Not with my rolls today, so.
See, I think one of the things that's why you always hear about it from Rolemaster is because everything's so random. Stuff will be going along great, and then poof, you're dead.
And one of those,
but it doesn't it happens all that often. Right. It only happens 2% of the time.
But it turns out that it's one of those weird crit chart things where you lose your head, or like your lungs come out the side of your body or something. It's just weird stuff.
So you 4 can get this. Got 10 coin worth of goods. You've got the set of armor. Got these boots. You've got these golden butterflies. You can get them back up, and we'll assume that you can get them cleaned.
That's right. I assume with careful application of some of my skills, I could do that.
Or maybe we could just use the sand. There's a lot of sand. You can it's abrasive and doesn't explode.
She pouts.
So, how much of a difference is the armor, like full plate versus the chain?
So it's a significant difference. The problem is
and the drawbacks.
Yeah. Well, right now if it is just simple plate, then you really need to have a skill in maneuvering in plate mail. You've trained in working with chain, which makes that more difficult.
However, there's a fairly high chance it has a modifier that will make it easier for you to wear. We just have to discern whether it does or not.
Gotcha.
So Bogomil is humming the tune again and walks from item to item, touching them, trying to cast item analysis 1.
Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
I start with the boots.
Okay.
Let me see.
What do the boots look like style-wise?
They're very sort of boots, high hard leather, very classic adventure boots.
I don't know they'll match your shirt at this point.
Well, what would?
The only thing that is the one magic that these boots have, Bogomil, is that they are completely indestructible.
I really want them, but I don't think Bogomil is a liar, so he just tells it straight. These boots are indestructible, and I want them. And then he checks the armor, the plate mail.
Okay, you're going to need to roll 4 times.
Can I just not do 4d100?
Yeah.
Will it display? Yeah.
It'll display all of them. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so all but 1. So this is plate mail. That means it's armor type 20. It's a full set of plate mail, but it encumbers, meaning you wear it as if it is soft leather, and like the lightest of soft leather. So it encumbers as armor type 6, which is like having just a leather shirt on. It also allows you to breathe and move freely underwater.
Ooh.
And it makes you immune to natural elemental damage. Cold, heat, lava.
Oh, gotcha.
This is an artifact level item.
And it's very sad for you that it's child sized.
No.
So I actually
That's
have a
the wonder of the Rolemaster random treasure table there at its best.
I have a quick question there, Lowell, about
Sure.
system.
Yeah.
So you were talking about like if he changed out, he wouldn't be as good at that armor as like his chain. What does the chain skill do? Like I have chain 70. What does that even mean?
That means you can actually wear chainmail without having it cause you huge penalties to movement and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so it's
You
more
have
of a
to train it.
Gotcha. So it's more of a prereq than an active thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it minimizes your penalties. You'll still have like a penalty, but it'll be a lesser penalty.
Cool.
And just to tell you, the armor type 6, the soft leather, essentially what it does is if you have it on, you have a -20 until you've trained in that armor type to like running around or swimming or things like that. Not that you need to swim, because this thing allows you to breathe underwater.
Okay. I do
you have enough points? Oh,
just out of curiosity.
Yes.
I'm looking at my skills. I've got several different listed here: soft leather, hard leather, or rigid leather, chain, and plate. 2 of them have dashes instead of numbers beside them.
Oh, let me take a look.
What does that mean? Because rigid leather and chain, I have a 60 and an 82.
Yeah, so that means that you have you could wear either rigid leather or chainmail.
And the other two are available. I just haven't trained them.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it wouldn't be that much of a penalty for you to wear that plate mail, for example.
Yeah.
Do you have enough points, Bogomil, to do the butterflies?
I'm not sure. The only spell that actually shows the cost is ventriloquism, which cost me 1 point. The rest has no.
Well, the cost is equal to the level.
Mm-hmm. So, let me think. I haven't. I have 10 PowerPoints at the beginning. I casted illusions. And that is a level 4.
Yeah, let's do this. Well, I'm going to let you make the roll on the butterflies, and we'll just make sure that we track those PowerPoints that by the level the next day.
Okay.
So just roll a D100.
$47.
So you're not sure what the butterflies do. They are clearly magic, but you're uncertain.
May I use magical lore?
Yeah, you may use magic lore on them. See if there's something that's legendary. Going to want to get high on that.
$135.
Wow.
So these are a sort of famous set of gifts for royalty that essentially these butterflies, all they do is fly around, but they are super pretty, and they're kind of a wonderful toy for royalty. Very, very well made.
And very expensive, correct?
That is correct.
Yes. So I'm holding the box, and butterflies are flying fancily around me.
They do.
Oh,
they
they
kind of
feel-
form a...
Yes, that's nice. It really distracts from the grease stains.
Okay, so I'm hearing Ilbear gets the armor, Semyon gets the butterflies, and Bogomil gets the boots. All
That
right.
sound good?
And then we have 10 coins to split between us. So I guess that's 2 for everyone and 2 in the pot
for the
for
party.
general needs.
Yeah.
Okay. So you four can camp for the night. There are no encounters here. You have the sense that the smell and this place probably keeps people away, and that serves to provide some cover for you. You'll be able to recover your PowerPoints, so that will come back.
Yay!
And as you're resting, you can get back, that's 2 points an hour, so you can get back 16 hit points.
Okay, so that armor was defense against elemental damage.
Yep.
What were the other ones? Lightweight.
Yep. And breathe and move, essentially breathe underwater, move freely underwater. Technically under liquids.
And then I'll have you let me know what are the other things? There's what, armor type? And
So it's going to be, you're going to be armor, if you wear this, it's going to be armor type 20. But while you have it on, you're going to be at a -20 to do things like running, jumping, climbing until you get some training in it.
But fighting in that?
Not a problem. It doesn't affect that.
Oh, okay. So how does what I currently have work for running and jumping and stuff like that?
I think. Let me look at your sheet. Look at Hilbert. Right now, armor type 14. It actually gives you just a -5 penalty.
Oh, okay. So this isn't incredibly bad.
No, it probably won't cause you to die at any point.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll give it a try.
Okay. So
Lowell, can he use any of his secondary skills for that?
yeah, if you want to put one of your secondary skills into soft leather, I'll let you do that.
Okay. And that's all I would need would be the soft leather. I wouldn't need the plate.
Right. Because
Okay.
it's like you're wearing soft leather. It's like you're wearing nothing at all.
So I could take because I've got one at 40. I could go ahead and put that one up there in the
If you've got one at 25, that's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Okay. And I just put it up at the top where the other ones are. Cool.
So rest, recover, get up the next day. The light kind of comes over the dunes here. You've still got that grue and meat smell in the air. And you have
Simeon's going to smell like that for days.
probably both of you.
Probably.
Because I think you probably got some.
I mentioned Simeon specifically.
Right.
Because
Got some,
I don't know.
some grue on you. So, so there are 3 pathways. There's the pathway you came in from. There's the one heading to the northwest, sort of back towards the entryway of the dunes. And then there is a pathway going directly west.
Deeper in, obviously.
Taking off westward then, I assume? Okay.
How important was it to us to get to that temple?
You
What
tell
do
me.
you guys think?
Now that we found the butterfly slightly less?
Well,
Because if it's south of us, do we want to leave the trail and just start going dead south?
To climb over the dunes?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's too much work.
Or is it too much work?
Yeah, going over the dunes is at least 3 or 4 hour hard climb proposition.
So we're going to quarter our time almost, or half our time at least.
And possibly exhaust yourselves.
Okay. No.
And
follow the trail.
We don't really know where the temple is, so one direction's as good as another.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we just had a vague direction. So, no, it makes sense.
So you will head west early morning. You're sort of refreshed. You're replete with magic items that you've discovered. You've slain the grue. It has sadly died without really doing a dent to you. This pathway that you move along, kind of wander through. It's early morning. Again, about 45-minute plus walk through these canyons of the dunes. And it'll open up into what's very clearly a crossroads. You can see that there's another sort of broadens out. There's another sort of grove of ironwood trees at the center. You can see that the tree that is nearest to you, large ironwood tree, that there are ribbons hanging from it with bones tied at the end.
Ooh, festive. And how tall are these trees?
They're probably about 30 feet tall. Looks like someone would have had to climb up there to put these bone ribbons on there.
How high are the dunes around here? Like, do the trees go above the dunes?
Oh no, the dunes are like 200 and 300 feet high.
Oh, wow.
It looks like there's a pathway that heads north, and there are two that head south from here. One due south, and one to the southeast.
Is there any sort of signage or indicators on the thing, since it seems like a crossroads?
Let me have you make a perception check for me.
All right.
I'll say if we're thinking about finding our way through, you know, if we could find someone to talk to, obviously I could try and press them for answers. Also, I could probably climb one of these dunes pretty quick and get a nice high look over things.
That's right. Got some spells for that. Sure, I will tell you that the path that's directly south looks like has the most traffic on it.
Okay.
But that's about all that you can pick up from that.
I'm too short to read the ribbons. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. The ribbons, like beautiful silk ribbons, human bones.
Can she tell if it's hoof-shaped traffic or foot-shaped traffic?
No, it's more that the dunes and the stone and rocks are more worn down, but just, can't read the tracks.
Okay.
That's probably the way to Medved, though.
I mean, Bogomil is pretty sure that the ribbons and the bones are a warning, but just to make sure, can I pick for a skill something like folklore or I don't know, history, or I don't know.
Sure. What do you want to call that skill?
I would like to call it folklore.
Okay.
And let's see, I pick the 40% slot for that.
Sounds good.
So let's make a roll. Let's see. Ooh, that's a 41.
Now, you could spend one of your hero points to re-roll that.
Yeah, I do that.
Good.
Let's see.
Spend those resources.
If not, would that be a situation where he rolled and subtracted? Is that how that works?
Yes.
83 now.
Okay, I'll give you the most basic info that you can pick up from this. The way that the bones are aligned, the way that the trees is possibly a warning, and it's definitely pointing at the southern path.
So I say to my fellow adventurers, the path to the south is what leads to the temple, I assume. But there lies grave danger. Let's go.
I thought the temple was supposed to be abandoned, wasn't it? It wouldn't be the heavy traffic direction. Wasn't that the heavy traffic direction?
It's not abandoned.
It is Medved's like stronghold, I thought.
Yeah, and that if that traffic's in like a stone road or stone like that, that traffic could be as old as the stone is. So I mean, it may not be a crazy amount of current traffic, but
Well, Medved is a god who keeps around with him non-humans, so it may not be a gathering that's particularly pro-human.
Well, I suppose at the very least, if there are beings there and they can talk, then we could make them talk. So someone knows something.
Huh. Okay. I mean, at least 2 people really want to go. And I'll just destroy anything that tries to get in our way.
Yeah, I'm all for going that direction.
Okay, guys. Let's do it.
All right.
We could make sure we
yes.
live and just head back home. We got an egg and we got a little bit of treasure. I mean, we're all set.
I do want to take this pause opportunity to try and climb up to one of the top of the tallest dune in that direction and see if I can see anything.
Are you doing your sand running?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with wind drift. How windy is it to start with?
It's probably a little bit of wind.
It's not too bad. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the wind drift and pull out one of my adventuring gear, which for cat burglar is definitely a grapple and rope, and sort of use the grapple to hook lightly in the sand and give myself just enough of a jerk up to start going, and then throw it ahead again, that sort of thing, and leapfrog up the dune with it.
Okay, I will say that the levitation is probably your better bet of the two.
Okay.
Just because you can actually definitely go up and have a little bit of control over things.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So let's have you make a spellcasting roll, just because it's Rolemaster and we want to see if you fumble.
Do we want to see that?
Sure we do.
93. Wow.
Perfect. Spend the 3 points. It goes off. You will levitate up. Go up. So let me have you make a general perception roll.
At which I am amazing.
Good.
Yeah. It's 48.
Oh, do you want to spend a hero point to maybe get more information?
It's very unlikely to get much more information.
Oh, what do you think?
Oh, sure. Why the hell
You're
not?
losing money, not spending it on the reroll.
That's what it is. I didn't spend one last time, so I guess I'm due one now. Ooh, 111.
Damn it. So you will rise up to the top of the dune. Get up there and above and look to the south. In the far distance past the dunes, you can see the ocean. Essentially, the dunes exit out onto the ocean. The path that seems to go due south, from here you can see the glint of what looks like a really worn silk pavilion, like in really awful shape. And it looks like there's a little bit of, maybe a little bit of smoke, and it's clearly a campsite of something. And then beyond that, it seems to go, maybe the path continues on from that in a couple of directions. To the southeast, it looks like that path continues on. There's another crossroads, but then continuing past that, you can see like golden glinting. Can't tell what it is from here, but there's the glint and reflection of gold down that way.
Anything else of note?
That's what you will get. It must be pretty big, whatever it is down there, to be able to kind of see the gold and spotting it from this direction and from this far out.
So yeah, I sort of come excitedly hurrying down the dune. Okay, so off that way is dirty, smoky, horrible people, presumably with swords and awful intentions. But that way is a shining city of gold sitting in the middle of the desert.
That sounds safe.
And you did notice whether it was guarded or not, correct?
The camp looked very guarded. I saw no indications that there was anybody living in the Golden City.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of chuckling at you and your fixation. Like, yeah, this is gonna go well.
Look, do you want to steal from grubby centaurs, or do you want to rob an ancient temple? This is taking way too long. That was not a hard question.
Bogomil starts walking in the southeast direction.
Ha-ha!
It is not even a
I'll scurry to
question.
follow Bogomil. So
Yeah, I think I'm a falling line here. Yeah,
Okay.
I knew we were going this way. You just got to give Simeon a hard time.
Simeon is like almost skipping as we start this journey.
He's got energy enough for all of us.
All right. And you will move along the path, another sort of winding pathway here, and again another 45 minutes, hour, and it will break out into another one of these sort of breaks in the dunes where there are a couple of paths off in different places, and there's some dense stands of trees scattered around and rocks up on the dunes, and the path continues on to the south. Can I have two people, you can decide who, make perception rolls?
Not it.
I'll make one.
So Wildemir and one other person.
I have a 38. I don't know what the rest has.
Yeah, I'm probably, let's see what mine is. 35. I mean, we're similar. So I think it would kind of come down to who seems to be paying more attention to what's going on around them versus paying attention to the Gold City, like right down the
So
road.
definitely not Semyon. We've established that. So
Golden City. Golden City.
I think Bogomil is also rather dreamy, so
Okay.
he's not the
Okay.
most
So I'm
focused.
looking around too then.
okay, let's have you roll.
We're working together to compose the opening lines of the ballad about this great adventure.
One of you is getting the words, and the other is kind of working on the tune.
I rolled
So
a 95.
yes, so you are moving along the path here through amongst the trees. You can see that it continues on to the south from here, and it's something, some little thing there, Wildemir. What is the thing that keys you to the ambush?
I think the sand trickling down from the dunes, where the dunes have been super solid. Otherwise, all of a sudden, I see like little pebbles and stuff kind of rolling down and sending this thing. It's not like it's anything big. It's just tiny, but it's just something I haven't seen before.
And you can tell you're about to be ambushed.
And I go, stop,
so
ambush.
it's kind of a narrow path that you're on. You're heading south, and when she says that, you will see some figures pop up from behind rocks. I actually have, I'll show you in roll 20. I'll pull up the sort of what they look like. I don't know if you can see that there.
Eld.
Yes. You will recognize them as Eld. They are a kind of elves. They're from another plane. Their culture is nasty and unpleasant. They are vicious killers. They care not for any other beings They use them for experiments and tortures and all kinds of things. They are their culture, their civilization is truly unpleasant.
But they dress well.
God
But
damn,
they
do they
do-
know how to dress?
Yes, they do know how to dress. So because of the spotting there, you guys don't get any kind of advantage, but you will be able to react and roll initiative here for this right now.
As we look around, how many do we think we're facing?
Looks like 6.
Huh.
And it looks like a couple of them have ranged weapons, and it looks like there might be a mage among them.
Yuck. A fight against one big thing versus now a fight against 5, 6.
Ooh.
That's going to be nasty.
Okay. Let me pull this up.
Oh, and did my initiative change or anything like that because of the armor?
Yeah, it
Does that
doesn't affect that initiative there. No.
Okay, good deal.
Well, that's good for you.
Yee.
What the what? Yeah, at least one of my groups is going first. Semyon, what was your initiative roll?
Mine was a 5.
Ilbert?
I'm last. I got a 1.
Why do you have a -5?
That's what his initiative mod is.
Yeah, because that's what my initiative mod is on my character sheet.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
You were meant to be the anchor in the fight. That's
Yes. Yes.
Actually, you know what? I just realized that you were right about that. You aren't going to take the -5 because that initiative penalty is from your chainmail. So
Okay.
you'll have just a -1.
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's because this is more like light leather.
Yeah, like soft leather.
So then you're on
Okay.
5 with me.
Okay. Wildemir?
Oh, I'm not last.
I thought I rolled in there somewhere, but I don't see it.
I see
Oh, there it
an
is. 8.
8. And Boogamil?
I'm like lightning.
13.
He's like lightning.
Okay. So there are 3 archers that are going to fire bows. At least one of them now is definitely going to target our fighter. Since you are in...
Since he really sticks
Beeffic.
out as a fighter now.
Oh, yeah, the great plate, blue plate mail. So what is your natural defensive bonus?
My natural is...
Oh, you can use your shield, actually, for this. I just realized.
With the shield. So, defense bonus, my natural is a 5, and 25 for the shield.
Okay. So you're going to take 3 points of damage from one of the arrow shots. And then what is your defensive bonus, Semyon?
My defensive bonus is a 10.
Okay.
And I do have a shield as well.
Then you may apply that. So what's your total then?
I have a shield somewhere. Plus 20, so 30.
30. So, and what's your armor type?
13.
13. So you were going to take 4 points of damage. And the crit puncture there doesn't do anything else. So you're very lucky on that. And let's see, do they shoot the little girl or do they shoot the bard? Little girl it is.
The other one's
What is
just
your defensive bonus?
These guys are assholes. A 5.
5. Ooh, and your armor type?
2 robes.
2 robes. So you're going to take 16 points of damage.
Ow!
Okay. And I'm going to roll the depuncture on you.
Oh man. Oh, man.
Oh, rats.
Would you like me to re-roll that?
Yes, please.
Oh, wow.
So is depuncture
that's the same thing.
puncture removal?
I'm not going to take that.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so
it's about the same thing.
okay,
Wow.
Roll 20 was very insistent there.
he hit you in the stomach
Uh-huh.
for an additional 6 hits,
Okay.
and you're bleeding out 6 hits around,
Okay.
and you're not able to parry for 3 rounds.
So I took 18 or was it 16 and then 6?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 22 and 6 bleeder.
Yeah, but that doesn't bleed until next round.
Right. Okay.
So that's a hefty hit.
Yeah.
As you guys will see, that arrow bury itself in Wildemir's midsection there. Bogomil.
And she cries out like a little girl.
So Bogomil looks quickly around. Is there any way to take shelter from the archers? Is there a stone, tree, a rock?
I would certainly let you make a roll to try and get yourself to cover. There are some bits and pieces around here. Do you want to try and do that?
Well, I would run to Wildemir, grab her, and like drag her or carry her to the safe spot.
Perfect.
If there is one.
Let's have you roll, and let me see what's appropriate skill that we'll use for this. Go ahead and add your climbing. That seems like a good physical skill to do for this.
I also have quickness. I don't know if that is
that's probably already added in on your things.
Okay, so climbing is 45.
That's a decent.
That's a 69.
Are you more interested in getting her to cover or you to cover?
I mean, I see that she's bleeding out, so, and I'm not a monster. I definitely try to get her safe.
So you will get her to cover, but you're still exposed. Let's come to Wildemir.
All right then. I have 4 herbs. I assume
Yes, you
that
do.
some of those will be clotting, yes?
Do you want some of them to be clotting?
I want them all to be clotting.
Okay. Each of those is clot 3.
Oh, so I'll use 2 of them?
Okay.
Or is it?
Yeah. That will take your action, though, to get those out and chew on those.
Yes, I will chew so sincerely.
Okay. What does that feel like when the herbs actually clot those wounds?
I think the best way to describe it is it feels like you know, when you're going to throw up and your stomach feels all squibbly, and so it's like, but it's not just the stomach, it's like everything around the arrow has that weird, like it's convulsing and stuff because it's moving the clot up it through there. So yeah.
And I have a question for you here before I move on to the next player. Did you pull the arrow out?
Let's see here. I'm thinking no.
Okay. So you've got an arrow in you, but you've cured the bleeding. You're still down some hits.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Semyon. You might be muted. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. General question about magic in this world.
Sure.
Is there anything of the D&D nature of like spell components like verbal or somatic or material or anything like that? Or is it all just think and do?
Oh no, you're very cool because as a mentalist, you don't have to worry about that stuff. But other spellcasters do have a verbal components and things like that. It puts them in a severe penalty if they can't move or if they can't talk.
Could I use my numbing to try and numb that caster's like tongue or mouth
Yeah,
or face or whatever?
Talking
That
like
is-
he has Novocaine.
that is a reasonable thing to attempt.
So I'd like to do that as I move towards that lovely rock that the other two found.
Okay, so let's have you roll your casting roll for this. And on the spell user.
No, I guess I'm not because I don't want to fast cast. So I'm starting it and moving back. That's right.
Okay. Ilbert, the three companions are taking cover. There are 3 archers who are going to be reloading on the next round. There are 2 melee of these Eld, and there's a spellcaster. What do you want to do?
Seeing as my sword is not a ranged sword, I am going to lay into the caster because he looks more dangerous than the others.
All right, so I'm going to give you a penalty because you're going to have to run essentially up to get to him.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to have you roll. It's going to take like half your action, so I'm going to assign a -50 penalty.
Okay.
Okay. You go charging up. The nice thing is they don't expect the plate mail guy to go running up this fast.
Yeah, expected me to be a slug, didn't you?
That they did. So go ahead and roll your attack roll. Tell me, are you putting everything into OB?
Sure.
Okay.
I want this guy down as quick as we can. So
let's have your roll.
What? My attack -50.
Yep.
I'll just add in that. And we get a 128.
128. And he has that. So go ahead and roll your D/ on him.
12.
12. Oh gosh, you could re-roll that. Try and really take him out.
Sure.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah. That did great.
Every single fate roll has been like this. You roll like
I had
within
one that
4 or
went
5.
pretty good, but
So
hard.
you get up on him and like you're a bat out of hell and come up and you're engaged in meleeing him and you hit him with that sword. He clearly did not expect it, and you will interrupt his casting.
Nice.
Because he has to parry next round, so that will break his prep. So that will happen. The 2 melee people are the ones that are close by the mage, so they're going to move in on you.
Figured that.
Okay. They're going to be at a penalty, but they've got that. And you're armor type 20 right now?
I think so. Whatever that plate was.
And you didn't save anything for defense, but I assume you're going to use your shield against one of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So
the shield was 25, but my defense... Well, my default was 5, and I had kept forgetting about that thing.
Oh, okay. So 30.
Yep.
They got that, so they're rolling with that. So let's see here. So the first one does 2 points of damage to you.
Okay.
And the second one does 66 plus that is 137. What's that? Oh, no crit. 6 points of damage to you. They rush up and they're sort of long, thin, long swords clack against your armor there. They do no effect besides kind of
laugh at
giving
them
you some
with their
concussion.
puny swords.
That was them. That was the mage. That was melee. Top of the next round. What a horrible situation you guys are in. Bogomil.
How far are the elves from us? From the spot where I'm hiding?
I'm going to say about 20 meters.
And that is 60 feet?
Yeah.
Damn it. So I guess it's time to get the sword out. I hate these elves. Yeah, so my action will be grabbing my sword, sighing deeply, and running towards where the action is.
Okay.
Trying to I'm trying to zigzag in order to at least, I don't know, make it difficult for them to shoot me.
So you're heading towards the wizard and the 2 melee people, or towards the 3 archers?
I mean, I guess Wildemir is safe behind the rock. Semyon, I'm not sure. And so I guess I join Ilbert.
Okay. So you'll be at a penalty because you have to run up on them if you want to make an attack this round.
No, I take my time dodging the arrows, so to speak, and so that next round I will be within reach.
Do you have a shield?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Let's double check. Nope.
Okay. But you got that out, so dodging that, so moving further away from them. That's to your advantage.
I'm sorry. I do have a shield.
Okay.
And it's 20 to my DB, which is defense bonus, I guess.
That is true. And what's your attack bonus with the sword?
My attack bonus with the sword is 85, one-handed edge.
Okay, perfect. Minus that for having moved. And it gives you a decent defensive bonus here against the situation. Wildemir.
Yes. She is Fury Incarnate. Just used up 2 of her own herbs on herself. These are supposed to last the whole trip, and it really, really hurts. And so she is going to very carefully peek over that rock, and those 3 archers, you said it was a narrow pass?
You kind of, in a narrow pass here, they're up here about 60 feet away. The other group is over here about 60 feet away.
Any chance I can catch a couple of them in the radius of my vacuum? It's a 5-foot radius. It's not horrible, but if they were working together, they'd be using the same rock or whatever that they tried to hide behind.
If you make a very good casting roll, yes.
Oh, it is unfair to say something is dependent on a casting roll, but I will attempt this.
Okay. And to tell you what the archer's doing, they're reloading, so they're going to fire at the end of this round.
Okay. 49.
So you will catch one of them.
Ugh, okay.
Go ahead and roll your crush critical.
$100.
Nice.
So
138.
what happens? That this isn't open on this. I will read you the thing. Blow to back of neck paralyzes foe from shoulders down. Plus 25 hits. Foe is quite stunned. So that blast hits that eld. There's that crackle of it, and he just goes limp and just tumbles over the rock, and he's laying on the sand. His compatriots look down at him, and they just go, like that. So good shot.
Thanks.
Semyon.
So, I'm gonna try and get off that spell at the stupid caster guy.
Go ahead and make that casting roll.
I agree with Sherry. It's really unfair that you keep saying that.
No.
God damn it. I got an 11.
Okay, so you do that. Part of the problem, of course, is he's in melee. You know, he's a little distracted, and he will resist that. He clearly knows that someone has cast magic on him, but right now the giant plate mail blue beanie on him is making him a little more freaked out.
Okay, fine. I look over at Wildemir, who seems to be very pleased and sort of excited about what's going on now. She looks good behind this rock, so shield carefully out. I'm gonna get out and start moving towards those archers, I guess.
Okay, kind of get yourself set. Can do a little bit of maneuver on that. Ilbert.
Okay.
What's your action?
In the struggle, I'm gonna fight him, but I'm kind of positioning myself so now that the caster will be between me and the archers.
Okay.
As I'm doing this.
That makes sense.
But I'm gonna kind of do the sword blows, see if I can get him in the ribs.
Okay. Is this on the mage?
Yes.
Okay. So he has to parry this round, so his defensive bonus is a little bit higher. How much do you want to put into defense and how much into attack?
We will do all attack at the moment.
Whoa! With well, you have the plate armor.
Yeah, I want somebody who can cast spells down. I don't like casters. Other than ours. Yeah. Ours are nice. Casters are nasty. They can get you whether you have armor or not.
Yes.
119.
119 minus his defense is essentially gets his wavy dagger, cultist wavy dagger in the way. Go ahead and roll your crush.
23.
So you take him out on concussion hits. Essentially, that blow comes and you hit him, and you feel his ribs give. And he'll drop to the ground unconscious on that shot.
Nice.
Okay. The two melee guys are going to strike at you, especially now that their caster is down. They are furious.
Yeah, I figured they wouldn't be too happy with that.
So this is the first one who you're blocking with the shield. 7 plus that means that. So that's going to be another 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And the other one is going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
So they are just clanging on the armor there.
Yeah. So far, I'm down just a little over 20. So I'm at 67 right now.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can do better with the bow.
that wasn't a request.
So one of the archers is going to try and shoot at you. Got that. 10. So we're rolling with a 40. And that will go wide. And then the other one, because Bogomil is running up on their compatriots, will take a shot at him. So this is with a plus that, minus the shield and defensive. Oh, what is your armor type, Bogomil?
My armor type is 8.
8. So you're going to take 11 points. And essentially the arrow comes across and hits you in your calf and lands in there. It does plus 2 hits, and you're also bleeding 1 hit point around.
So that's 13 in total.
Yes, I believe so.
Not yet.
Well, he did plus 2 hits, so.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. That was them. Malay archers went. Swing back around. Top of the next round. Bogomil, you took this arrow to your calf. You've got these 2 Malay warriors up there engaged with your plate mail war fighter. What do you want to do?
I'm going to sink my sword into one of the melee fighters.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll on them.
Attack roll would be...
So however much you want to put into
Let's
your
see.
offense versus defense, you can save some of your attack bonus for defense if you want.
Say that again. You were robo
Oh, sorry.
calling.
So you've got an attack bonus of, let's see here, 85 with your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You can put however much of that you want into attacking. You can also put some of that into defending if you want.
I do 50 and 35. 50 attacking.
That's a great split.
Okay,
so roll and add 50. So 79 minus their defensive bonus. So you will just kind of hit a glancing blow on this one on this round and do some concussion hits, but he is still up. Wildemir.
The archers are up on the dune, right?
Yes.
All right, then I'm casting erosions. I'm just going to bring that dune down on them.
Okay. You're going to fast cast erosions?
Yes, because, you know, that sounds like all the fun in the world, doesn't it?
Yes. Roll it.
Okay. Sorry. The cat has to be held right now, so I'm at a disadvantage here. That's enough to cast.
That will go off. And what does the erosions do?
It essentially causes 100 cubic feet per level section of inorganic material to erode, and because this is sand, erosion specifically sets it rolling downward. So it says it deteriorates at 1,000 times the normal rate.
So I will say that the effect of this is to blow their action for the round. Mm-hmm. Essentially, as this sand comes, dust comes pouring down to where they're at, and so they will stagger forward and will not be able to attack. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. Semyon.
Then perfect. That means I don't need to rush to fast cast, but I'm going to continue moving towards the archers and prepare a spell. And can I do that like active? Well, there's no one shooting, so I don't really need to. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. And so you'll probably get up to next to the twitching eld that's laying there from the paralyzing blow to the back of the neck, who looks at you, and he just looks furious. All you see is hate and anger in his eyes as you come by.
Oh, he may be perfect. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
Okay. Ilbert?
Okay, so how are the 2 melee...
It looks like they're going to split.
Okay.
It looks like one of them is going to try and continue to engage you. The other one is turning to face Bogomil.
Okay. The one that's going to engage me, I'm going to kind of position myself again, kind of putting the archer on the backside of him.
Okay.
From me. And just
that sounds perfect.
Go to town on this guy.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Whack.
That's open-ended.
Open-ended. Roll again.
So roll. Okay, so it rolls and adds on to that, right?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to roll and just add it on. and we'll just see how big the number gets.
Okay.
That's easier than doing the math.
264.
Okay, minus 25 is that. So there is wraparound on the chart. So you do 27 points and an E/critical. Please roll your
I keep
E/.
hearing the E/criticals are the best ones to roll.
Yes. Oh my God.
I think we got rid of a guy.
This guy tries to move as you shift. He tries to get there, but the sand is kind of soft under his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns, and your blade cuts through his spine. Foe collapses in a second and is paralyzed from the neck down permanently. Which seems to be the theme.
And he's probably just going to bleed to death at this point.
Yes, he collapses.
The hippie kept complaining that we're killing people, so we're trying a new tactic.
We're just getting rid of them faster. And
yeah.
It's horrible.
That is
awesome.
A horrible, awesome thing. The archers spend their round recovering from the sand. The one with the broadsword turns to you, Bougamil. You've got your shield, 25, plus you put that into that, so he's going to roll to hit you. It's actually in the text box here. So 71, so 81. And your armor type is
8.
8. So he's going to do 9 points of damage to you, but that's it. No critical.
And then also, this is the next round, so the -1 bleeding damage also applies.
Yes, it does.
That's 10.
Okay. And we come back to you. It's your action now.
I'm trying. So Bougamil is trying to position himself in a way that Ilbert, so that the Eld is between him and Ilbert.
Okay, that seems perfectly fine.
And then it's plus 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 74.
74 plus that. You'll hit some for some concussion, primarily because he's keeping his shield up on you, which is not to his advantage. He probably doesn't realize that his companion has been spine severed. So he's still doing it. So he kind of takes the blow on his shield, but is still up with you. Wildemir.
I would like to cast Disruption on one of the archers. However, I have a cat stuck to me.
Okay. Casting roll. Whoa. So he does not resist that. What does that do? You did.
B crit.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I always forget that that's the B crit. So roll your B critical.
84.
84. So that impacts into him, and that hits his side. He is going to be stunned and unable to parry for 2 rounds. It does additional damage. It does 12 hits to him. Essentially, it hits him in the ribs, and he staggers to the side from that shot. And he's not going to be able to attack or parry for the next 2 rounds. Note that down. Semyon.
Go for it, Semyon.
So there's that guy cursing at my feet, and I look down on him. I say, no, it's fine. Don't get up. Just stay there. I'll be with you in just a moment. Don't worry. And I'm going to turn towards the other one that's sort of struggling up out of the dune sand and say, "You stop it!" As I'm going to try and use a calm on him.
Okay. So do you want to do that on the one archer who hasn't been hit? Try to calm him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make that casting roll.
Fucking hell.
You could spend a fate.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah, I know.
So good.
Jeez.
24. Well, you have an advantage because they are not very particularly resistant to mentalism. They are about also 42, 50, 50 on that. And what does Calm do?
Target will take no offensive action and will fight only in self-defense. 1 minute per level.
Okay, so he will not resist that. He's still trying to like pull the bow back. He really wants to loose the arrow at you.
And I'm going to look back down at the one at my feet and say, now, where were we? As I sit down sort of friendly on the dune next to him and start chatting.
Fair enough. Ilberd, there's one Malay warrior up here with you.
Just to surprise him to no end, I'm going to start screaming at him as I come around on him, seeing that he was facing the other direction.
And because of the position that Bougamil did, essentially you're going to get a flank bonus on him.
Cool.
Essentially your bard moved to position himself to give you the opening. You can turn and do that.
Okay. And I'm going to do the same all out. So what does the flank bonus do for me?
Plus 20.
Okay, so
so 119 plus that minus that is going to be, you still do a C/critical to him.
55.
55. So you hit him on the side, kind of cut him across there. He'd already taken concussion, pretty hefty concussion from Bougamil's hit on him, and he will drop to the ground, bleeding out.
Okay.
So we've got a calmed archer. We've got another one that's stunned and recovering from that. They went. Essentially, that's their action. The calm one is attempting to fight it. He just looks furious, Semyon. Like, you normally expect these people to run. It's just such a deep, abiding hatred they have for anyone that's not them that he's trying to get past it.
Well, I understand he's very impolite and is not willing to wait his turn, but really, I started speaking to this one on the ground first, and he'll just have to hold on.
Stunned and unable to parry one is up there. Bougamil, it's your action.
Does it look like Semyon has everything under control, or is there still one who could pose a threat?
There's one who is going to, after next round, recover and be able to attack again. And there's one that is right now being held by his calming spell.
So I think Bougamil grits his teeth and shuffles over to Semyon.
Okay, so that will take a full round for you to get, have to run down and then back up to get over to there. Wildemir. Muted.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take this full time to do a full... Is the melee guy still up?
Oh, no, they're both down.
Oh, awesome. So, yeah, I'm going to take the full round to cast.
Okay. Semyon. I can't hear you.
Balls. So there's that other archer that's still sort of scrambling up from where he keeps getting exploded over and over again.
Yeah, he is stunned and he's not able to parry, so he's at a disadvantage, but he's still trying to kill you. He's probably, for his maneuver, switching out to a melee weapon right now.
So I'm going to look down once again at the paralyzed guy at my feet and say, I am so sorry about this. This is incredibly rude, but your friends don't seem to understand the order of conversation. And just one moment, I will be right back to you. I'm going to look up at the other one who's struggling up out of the sand. You, that is very rude. I'm talking to your friend, and you need to just shh. And I'm going to try and charm him.
Oh, interesting. So you're fast casting that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop that. 56.
So that will actually go off. So that's a 50-50 on that. The level thing, he's got a minus 25, so he needs to roll very high to resist this. He is going to resist that spell.
Good Lord. I'll just roll my eyes and sigh at this point.
Fair enough. Ilberd.
I take it this one's a ways off from me. This is that last archer, right?
Yeah, it's going to take a full round to move over to where he's run. That's what Bogomil did.
I think I'm gonna start running towards him and being as intimidating as I can to see if I can. Is it possible I can strike fear into him that either he'll kind of hesitate or want to run or something like that?
Yeah, though his situation is that he really can't run right now.
Okay.
Because he's stunned, unable to parry.
Then my biggest goal is I just want to scare the living daylights out of him because I've taken down his mage and he saw what I did to the other guys. And
oh, absolutely.
What the rest of the group's been doing to everybody. So,
Bogomil, you've run up there. You can see that Semyon's dealt with the one guy who can't do anything. He's cast on the archer who's still up there, who's drawn his blade, but is kind of staggering. What do you want to do, Bogomil?
So who's has Ilbert passed me because he's faster, or?
I would assume that you guys are kind of running in parallel.
And how close am I to the eld who is lying on the ground and who's stunned?
You mean the paralyzed one or the stunned one?
Yeah, the paralyzed one that Semyon was talking to in a creepy way.
You could divert your run and get over to him in just a few steps.
I will go to him because I fear for his life. I will try to with the hilt of my try to knock him out.
Okay. I will say you can do that. He is even as you come up to him, your ears are burning from the eld curses that are pouring out from his lips. Just it sounds like venom as he's screaming it at you as best he can. Pop, and you will knock him out. Yes. Wildemir.
On the stunned one who's just recovering, I would like to hit him again with the last disruption.
Okay. Casting roll. It does go off.
Yeah.
And then your critical roll, B crit.
Oh, I rolled a
1,000.
No, it was the cat. The cat has amazing abilities. I'm sorry. Okay. $50.
So you hit him for more hits, and he has to parry next round.
Yeah. So he can't parry, and now he has to parry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Semyon.
Oh, come on. I was talking to him. Fine. Get up, brush the sand off of my knees there, and go wandering over to the one that I calmed. I'm just going to start staring at him.
Okay. He's looking at you. got that blade. He's, he can't do it like can't bring himself to attack you, but he is starting to back away.
Look, I just need you to stop for just a moment. No one here understands what polite conversation is, and we just, hello, my name is Simeon. How are you?
And again, he does the curses, but because of the calm thing, it comes out very, very, very much sort of, I'm going to kill you when all of this is done. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to cut your ears off, and then we're going to do that thing as he's backing away.
And I'm, unless he starts running, I'm going to basically slow cast as I want to start casting some questions at him.
Perfect. That brings us to Ilbert.
And this is the last guy I'm coming up to, right?
Who is stunned and unable to parry. He's going to get his wits about him on the next round.
Okay. I think Bogomil's not gonna be too thrilled with me after this, but yeah, I'm gonna lay into this guy.
Okay.
He's definitely not gonna give us any chance if we try and let him get away. I mean, he's had the chance to get away. We've had the others.
Oh yeah, no, he wants to kill you.
There's no way they're gonna do it. So they'll just keep harassing us. Okay, so what am I rolling? Is there any bonus or anything to this?
Yeah, plus 20 for him being stunned.
Okay. 147.
147. All right. Let's see your E/.
93.
Sever foe's spine.
So now,
Collapses his
I have a technique that everybody's like, oh, yeah, don't let him behind you.
So, yeah, and again, he's trying to get his balance there. He's stunned. He's trying to get his blade up, and you will come across and cut him across there, and he will drop to the ground.
Okay, and I brushed myself off. I'm like, oh, that was. I hate ambushes. Just kick sand at the guy.
Effectively, the two ones that took the spine shots are out of commission. They are effectively dead.
3.
You have but you do have the calmed guy.
There's the paralyzed one that are knocked out, I guess. Do you mean him?
He is unconscious. He is alive but unconscious. The other two ones with the spine severing are kaput.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tie up the one that is unconscious.
Okay.
With my newfound rope skills.
Okay. So yeah, you tie up the paralyzed one. So you get him secured. And Simeon, what are you doing with this one you've got calm that still wants to kill you?
Well, like I said, I'm questioning him. If I have the time, I'm going to take extra casting round because that gives a bonus, you said?
Okay. Yep.
Do that. And yeah, the first question I want to ask him is now, it's in between all of the cursing. If you could just take a moment. We're a little lost. We're outsiders here. I don't know if you could tell. But we are looking for the lost temple of the bear god. Have you seen one laying around here?
Yeah.
Let's have you make that casting roll.
What's the bonus?
Just straight on the casting roll.
I thought you said there was a bonus if I took extra rounds.
Oh, I give him a minus to his resistance roll.
Ah, gotcha.
Sorry.
63.
63. Just got that. So he needs to roll a 90 or better to resist this. He does not. And the questions does what's...
Target must answer a single concept question truthfully.
Yes It is to the east.
Delightful. See how easy that was? We're engaging in a dialogue here, a nice back and forth. I'm going to babble on for a couple more rounds and do another.
Okay. I want to actually kind of cut forward on something, if you don't mind. We'll come back to the questioning on this, because it kind of makes sense in terms of where you guys were headed, and I assume you're going to move away from the ambush point pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We are going to
Yes?
loot them, and we're going to take the trophies that we've defeated those Eld, because they're everyone's enemies.
Yeah.
And they have nice stuff.
We will have you guys. I just want to sort of narratively set this up because it's close by where you're at. Kind of grab some stuff and kind of move off to the side and go a little ways down that path that you saw the golden shimmer down before. Get the Eld loot, move down there, and around one of these bends, as you come around, you will see not a temple, because you've gone south. Not a temple, but there is the shoreline, and you will see this enormous golden barge. It is washed up on the shore, and it is like nothing you've ever seen before. And that's what we'll take up next time.
Cool. Lowell, with the questioning,
Yes.
I have 7 points left, and the question is a first level spell. If I spend the rest of my points, can I maybe just get a couple of flashback questions for next session?
Absolutely. That's it. Let's do that exactly thing. So just remind me at the start, and we'll do that.
Cool.
Do you guys mind if we just take just a couple minutes to do Roses and Thorns?
Sure.
No.
And I'll horses be right back. I guess let me start. The one thing I find with Rolemaster, because of the way that the system is, it's very hard to judge hard fights versus easy fights, because an easy fight can turn into a hard fight, and a hard fight can turn into, as we saw, a grue slaying expedition. So it is one of the things that, because I haven't run it in so long, I have a very hard time judging the scale on that. So that's my thorn for today. Victor, thorns? About anything?
Nothing really comes to mind. I think the thing I'm having a hard time with is where things are as we're traveling in that. But I need to just scribble down on paper, because I do a little better if I map it as I'm playing.
I could be using I have a point crawl map. I should have it up and do some. Next time at the start, I'll pull that up and show you where the point crawl has been, because I can do that fog of war thing in Roll20, and I should have been doing that.
There we go.
So that's a good point. Patrick, thorns?
Thorns. Well, I definitely don't like Wildemir's curse. I really disagree with that whole thing, and I think we need to do something about that. I have counterpoints and positives about the system, but general overall impression of the system is it's like basically D&D but more complicated, and I'm not quite seeing where the complications outweigh, or the benefits from the complications would outweigh. Why not? Let's just do D&D.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a fair point, especially as a mage. That there's the randomness there makes things even harder. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, and that is interesting, because the spells are like more simple to understand and implement. It's just the wildly swingy nature of implementing them.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's fair. Horst, Thorns?
Yeah, I would echo what Patrick just said. The system is weird. I mean, it's very baroque in execution, but then on the other side, it's super bureaucratic in naming things. I mean, item law 1 and something 2 sounds like, I don't know, like if you do your tax returns, you are expected to use this. But in a role-playing game, it could be a bit more flowery, especially given as I said, it's really baroque how the subsystems work.
Yeah, no subsystem works exactly like any other subsystem in this game. It is tremendously overwritten. That's an absolutely fair comment. Sherry?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Let's see here. Thorns. I think shoot. I probably needed that other destruction list. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's the missing part now. It is a game of such super specific spells, like he says, that it's kind of bewildering where you look at something and you go, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then you're like, oh man, I'm going to have to lawyer this to even use it. So
I think that's fair. Come around. We'll do roses real quick. I guess for roses for me is I do love it when, as a GM, I go to hit you and it's going to be a big hit. I mean, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to knock you on your ass because that Gru is nasty and I roll so crappy. I mean, that's just, I hate it as a GM, but I also love it when the system goes wah, wah, for my strike. So I kind of love that wildness from time to time. Victor?
Yeah, I think kind of similar to that is the weird. I'm so used to the old D&D and all that, and it's pretty stable feeling. This doesn't feel stable. So we go into a fight, and it's like, okay, the tactician in me wants to, okay, I got to get rid of the magic guy first, and then the ranged guys. And right now, the best thing that's been working for me is throw everything on it. And just because it really, unless I roll like a 1, 2, 3, I usually hit them.
Yeah. You're the only class that can really do that. And now you've got armor type 20, so yeah.
And then boom, it's like the one hit was so huge. I'm like, okay, that was crazy. That was bigger more than I even expected. So yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of. I suppose it's kind of a mixed thing, good and bad. It's fun just to kind of play with, but I don't know if I could do it for like a long campaign.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It would get old fast.
Patrick, roses?
So roses. I love Wildemir's Curse.
Yeah,
it's an amazing plot device, and I really sort of am starting to want to abandon this bear god temple and just go deal with those nasty sisters. As far as positives for the system, like there is something endearing about the wildly swingy nature of it, where we had a session with rolls that ranged from -15 to 240 something, was it?
Yes.
And similarly, those crit charts are pretty fantabulous. And just the random situation of this one combat where we took half of the people out with spine-severing injuries.
Yes, that was very strange.
And I am really enamored with this character build. I love the fact that it has just like unreasonably high armor as compared to all the other mages and even the fighter. And so it gives me the freedom to just like run straight into the middle of things and just go for it, because what the fuck's going to happen to me? It's not going to be that bad. And I really do enjoy the spells. It seemed like a limiting list to start from, but as we've gotten into situations, like I see different of the trees opening up, like, oh, I could do this, or oh, I really want to do this combination of things. And again, with the sort of durability of the character, I have the freedom to fail wildly and enjoy that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's fair. Horst?
Yeah, my compliment goes to like the group that we are, and the GM, that we are able to make characters that have nothing. I mean, a half-elf bard is just a very empty canvas, and still you can find your character just by playing them and find out what they are about. And the other roles would go to the idea of point crawls in general. I like the idea that you can just pick a direction and see what's behind the next dune.
Yeah, that is kind of neat. Sherry, you're going to get last word for today.
All right. So, one, I love the idea that I, a destructive little child sorceress, am traveling with 3 pacifist dudes. This is awesome. I love the characters have like just fallen together, and it is so much fun to, how do you say, build the fiction around the weird roles and the outcomes and all of that stuff. It's just been the one thing that Rolemaster does is it always kind of, it creates weird situations that you couldn't have come up with on your own. And so, and because they're adjudicated by the dice, you got to roll with it, and it's super fun to roll with it sometimes, you know? So I've been really enjoying this, and you guys are awesome.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll finish this up with a last session next week at the Golden Barge.
All right.
All right. I will see everybody.